Welcome to Two Monkeys. Today we're going to be reviewing The Illusionist.
You had that.
We'll do that in post. Directed by Neil Berger, and it's about a turn-of-the-century Vienna and a magician who tries to
secure the love of his life by
even though she's a countess, duchess, duchess, and he's just a doofus. She's a duchess, he's a doofus,
and he gets her at the end.
It's a great fun ride. The cinematography is really fun. It's very authentically stylized to look old and ugly, but a week after seeing it, it's pretty much left my mind.
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot under the surface.
Paul Giamatti stuck in my mind.
He's terrific. He's really
it's that thing he does with his eyes. He goes
Yeah.
It's that thing he does with his eyes.
It's that Marty Feldman technique.
No,
Paul Giamatti was great. Ed Norton was great. The guy playing the prince was great. Yeah. I mean, it was a very solid film. All of the elements were great. Right. A very enjoyable 90 minutes. Are you going to remember it in 6 months or a year? Not with The Prestige coming out and the other one. There's all these magic movies all of a sudden.
The illusion of the illusionist wears off fast.
It does, unfortunately.
But I have to say that there was a problem with the beginning.
Which problem was that?
The whole beginning.
The whole childhood story?
Well, yeah. The whole Greek tragedy approach that the director or the editor tried to take to make it a little bit more interesting was a little problematic with me. To begin with the ending and then kind of flashback, unnecessary. Just
and the whole, yeah, I totally agree. The whole voiceover element sort of like shifts gears midway through, and you're like, wait, who's doing the voiceover and why? Right. Why do we need a voiceover and why is it being? It was
unnecessary.
Unnecessary and really
all handheld.
No establishing shots.
And there were so many establishing shots.
It was all establishing.
By the way, let's just talk about what establishing shot is. Basically a setup of where the scene is taking place.
No, it's a shot that answers the where question as opposed to the who or the what or the why.
If you were going to see where we're actually filming this, you would shoot to my apartment house in Santa Monica, and then you'd shoot to the interior of
You mean in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Or Lincoln, Nebraska, or in Russia. So anyway, that's a problem.
The Illusionist. Yeah, I mean, there's little plot elements. There's, I mean, here's my big problem with it. If I have to say a problem with it, I like the film.
Okay.
But the magic that he does that is interesting, and you're watching the film and you're going, that's really interesting. But too much of it relied on real camera special effects.
Yes.
And the thing is this, obviously good magic, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was special effect or not, but this was special effects. And because in the end you reveal it's an illusion, the complexity of the illusion, the fact that it was artificially constructed by the film undermines that. You know what I mean?
But we don't want to be a spoiler either. We just told them.
I really like to be a spoiler, and I don't give a shit. I don't think it matters.
Okay, I agree.
No one watches our shit anyway.
Wait.
Nobody watches it.
How do you know?
I get to fucking read the statistics, man. Happened? We get like 4 hits a week. It's nothing. Doesn't matter. You'll never see this review.
We need to market ourselves better.
Anyway, the fact that the illusions that he uses as this complex trick are not real magic, sort of leave me a little bit bored, because it's like, well, then that's not clever. That's, you know what I mean? There's no cleverness to it where there ought to have been. It ought to have been a trick where you can think, that's how it was done, rather than a trick where you think, oh, well, they used special effects and that's how it was done. The end reveals things that could never have happened.
Right.
There's no way those things happened, and so the whole twist is sort of undermined.
Right.
And that being said, it's an enjoyable 90 minutes.
It's an enjoyable ride.
It's worth seeing. They had a nice time.
Ed Norton does a great job.
Yeah, they all do a great job.
Great bags under his eyes in this film.
Yeah, he does that one shot. Can I just say, poor Mark Rachel. Mark Rachel looks so much like Ed Norton. A great actor.
He does that little.
He looks just like Ed Norton. I mean, it's like it's got to be so frustrating for Mark, because he's like, I can do that role.
But Mark can make a lot of money being a stand-in.
He should be a stand-in. We should call him. Hey, Mark, let's call him.
Hey, I want 10%. Well.
So if you don't like the movie, then we got to rate it. Wait, what?
So how many bananas do you give? So blah 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 blah. So how many bananas do you give this film, Mike?
I give The Illusionist 2 bananas.
I give The Illusionist 1.5. I'm sorry, I can't give 2 bananas.
It's a good, entertaining film.
Yeah, it's forgettable.
And if you don't like the movies, do some magic tricks, film them, and
you'll have your own illusion that will disappear very fast.